Hello and welcome everybody. Welcome to your Tuesday Thoughts Tarot reading. I'm going to be here on YouTube and I'm going to be picking some tarot cards and some oracle cards for clarification. Today is Tuesday the 27th of November, so you are all welcome. It's great to see my regular subscribers and regular watchers. Hi, always lovely to know that there's somebody watching at the end of this, that I'm not just doing it for no reason. And for those who are commenting on my meditations in particular, enjoy, keep replaying them, and I feel like I want to do another meditation for you. I don't know what it is, I just channel them through. So whatever decides to come through, it might be coming out for you. Mark on the screen. It might be coming out for you in the next couple of days. But here we are, we're going to do your tarot read. So I'm just going to go for the tarot that I usually use for this reading. This is not the tarot I use for my professional readings. So when I do a professional one-to-one reading, I have a special deck, a Rider-Waite, very traditional deck. But for these readings, which are for your entertainment, I use the Beginner's Guide to Tarot. It was actually gifted to me. So I've heard someone say that you should always have your first tarot deck gifted to you. So someone gifted me that, and then my interest just grew and grew. How are you? Hello to the newbies who've found me. Hello, welcome. You're all welcome to our community, to our family, I like to say. If you want to find out more about me, you can go to my website. The details are below, karentinny.co.uk, and then you'll find my different sessions on there, and you can contact me through there, you can contact me through here. So yeah, just get in touch should you need either healing, mediumship, tarot, and somebody inquired today about space clearing, so we can clear space, clear houses, clear land, should there be any heavy energies around as well. So let's do your tarot reading. So we'll give it a little bit of a shuffle. It was just kind of shuffling there, but let's see what the tarot wants us to know, and that's me included. What can be coming up for us. Happy birthday to my friend Catherine if you're watching. I hope you have a lovely day. It's beautiful out there, so I was tempted to go for a long walk before I did my tarot, and I thought, no, let me just get the tarot done. It doesn't have to be a long one, and we'll see what Spirit wants to say. So just inviting Spirit and my tarot angels in, because I do work with Archangel Raziel with the tarot as well. Ooh, feeling a push from behind here. So that energy is coming in to help with the reading, because the pictures and the meanings are one part, but then it's piecing everything together. So to anyone who's new, sit back, make a cup of tea, and just enjoy, just listen at your leisure. So have we got any jumpers at all? Anything jumping out for us? What does Spirit want us to know? Okay, 1 second. Spirit's definitely in the room because it moves air through my body, so sometimes I need to burp, so I just switched it off there. It can make you sneeze, it can make your eyes water, particularly if you're going to a very sacred space and you connect with Spirit and you allow Spirit to come forward. It can make your eyes run. It can also make you sneeze and cough, and certainly you feel hot or cold. You can feel a bit of both. One is not right, the other is not wrong. It's just whatever energy is coming close to you makes you feel a certain way. So how are you? How has your... we're at the end of the year. Oh my God, we're almost at the end of the year. This is crazy, right? How has the year gone for you? It has been a tough one, hasn't it? Yeah, that's absolutely for sure. We've all kind of been through the mill a little bit. So nothing's jumping, so I'm just going to split the deck in 3, and then we'll go with the top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I don't know what they are. They're all turned the other way. Oh. So the underneath card is the Devil card. So everybody's always a bit frightened when the Devil card comes up, but there's no need to be frightened. So we can look at the Devil in a very transformative way. The aspects that are classic are narcissism. There could be someone in your life who has narcissistic traits, who has a controlling nature. who wants to control what you do, what you say, where you move. They're chained so they can't get away. So somebody might have this controlling nature, or you might feel that you're actually controlling yourself, you're restricting yourself, you're not letting yourself move forward. It's almost like there's a block in some way in moving forward. But the devil tells us that it's like this is the underlying energy. So we've overcome, or you're overcoming this block. You're overcoming this feeling of being chained. The chains are loosening. And there's a sense of freedom here. And the devil very much traditionally is about raising the Kundalini energy, raising it right up to the third eye, so you can see with your third eye, so you can see differently, so you can see things in the psychic senses. And so there's a need for that transformation. There's a need for the human physical 3D world to transform now. And that's very much what Ascension is about. And so the devil is here to remind us of the material world, the physical world, the addictions, the passions, the obsessions. And actually we're leaving that behind. We're burning this. He's setting fire to the tails here. So it's almost like he wants to ignite a fire in us. So we raise that fire, we raise that channel of energy up to our third eye, so we can actually see the truth of things. Because seeing psychically is very different to seeing physically. And as we move through Ascension, which is this passage to a more energetic experience of living, an energetic experience of the earth, an energetic experience of life, of who you are, we're up leveling to embody spirit more, to be spirit more, and that's everything and everyone. As that progresses, there is this need to detach from the old ways, detach from old things that were important, old things that were probably keeping us controlled. Your work can keep you controlled, your home can keep you controlled, your family and your ideas about who you are can keep you controlled. So there's possibly this freeing of this, because the devil often comes in when we have overcome. So the first card is the death card. So it doesn't always mean a death in the family. What it most means is rebirth, because as something ends, something else can be born. So there has to be an ending. There has to be this leaving behind. There has to be this detachment from everything that we thought was important in order to be reborn and have this sun rise again. And we've got the time here, so it's time. And it's great to do it at the end of the year. It's great to have gone through the year and almost shed a lot throughout the year. At the beginning of the year in January, I was getting information and messages all about identity and my identity and how it was evolving and how it was, maybe I was going to go through the mill a little bit, which I have, and who am I and what am I doing and what am I bringing to the world, and is it any good, and shall I carry on with this, shall I carry on with that, because my brain likes to do 1,000 things at the one time. So there was this dying of the old belief system, dying of the old that I'd already just been. So all of that is gone, all of that is past, all of that is, we've let that go. The devil, we've overcome all of the ickiness, and we've let that die. And it allows for new birth. It allows for, God, I'm getting so hot now. It allows for this, sorry, it's the sofa. It allows for this rebirth. And the horse is there with its head bowed, and it feels a little bit Scorpio. So we are in Sagittarius now, but it's kind of that worshipping, that deep reverence that you get through November. And we are still in November, even though we're in Sagittarius. So there's a reverence coming in, I feel. And this could be pointing to Christmas time, because Christmas time is all about the celebration of the birth of Yeshua, Jesus, Isa, whatever you want to call him. And there is that reverence that happens now as we move into December. And the skeleton here with the bones, so there's this death to the old way of thinking. He's got a bandage over his head, so everything that was in his head that was wounding him, all these old thoughts and old thought patterns. Who do you have to be? Who do you think you are? Your life's not going this way. You're thinking it's a certain thing. You're thinking it should be this way. All of these old restrictive thoughts, controlled thinking, controlled obsessive thinking, it's dying. It's dead. Dead to that. Let it die. Let it die so you can start again from the bones up and rebuild. And he's got this huge scythe here, so it's a cutting away of that. Cutting away of the old. It's time. It is absolutely time to let something in your life die. But this would also point to it's absolutely time to let a way of thinking in your life die. So if you are the type of person who overthinks, who ruminates, who criticizes in your mind, who is unable to express yourself, who is a self-critical, because as a woman we are always self-critical, we are always chipping away at ourselves in a sense. It can be through how we look, our weight, our relationships, our roles, even like as an artist you're constantly like on the critical, and like the world is critical enough. We must not be critical of ourselves. We need to bolster ourselves up. So it's a cutting away of all of that, because that's who you were. It's not who you are now. So let's see what develops from the Death card. The next card we have is the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups, so cups are love, romance, emotion, intuition, and the Knight of Cups is someone coming in. It's a suitor. It's someone coming in to offer romance. This is a relationship. This is a soulmate. The Knight of Cups can be someone who is just lovely, just a lovely energy to be around. When you meet people and you just go, God, they've just got such a nice energy. And it's often a water sign because they just have nice, mutable, soft, friendly energy. So that friendliness is coming in, that softness is coming in, that romantic nature is coming in. So it might be someone who wants to take you to the cinema. It might be somebody who wants to take you on a date, who wants to go for a walk hand in hand. So all that natural, romantic, bringing flowers, the traditional romances. So he's coming in to offer you his cup. He's coming in to say, I want to ask you out. He's coming in and he's just full of love, and he's quite committed. He's a knight. He's coming in and he's coming in your direction. So it's almost like you won't have to go looking for this guy. He's just going to come into your life. You've got little fishes all around the braids on his, I don't know if braids is the right word, but around the horse here, which points to Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So again, those water signs. So you could be meeting a water sign, or you could be a water sign. But there's that wateriness, that love, that intuition, that mind connection. You meet someone and they just get you, and you just kind of get them. There's just that link. There's just that common connection between you. And when people do meet, there is some scientific research done where your wavelengths sync up and you become in harmony with the person you're with. So it's almost like this harmonious relationship is coming your way. The next card is Ten of Swords. The energy's moving. So he looks quite in a sad state, right? So he's on the ground, he's got 10 swords in his back, and he's near that ocean, and he's kind of giving up. But don't give up. 10 is as bad as it gets. It won't get any worse. So if you feel you've been through the mire, if you feel that life has been hard, if you feel that you've been stabbed in the back, literally, you've had people, whether enemies, frenemies, friends, family, people talking behind your back. The sword's all about communication. So it's about people saying things or even thinking things, and that has left you a bit exhausted. It's left you wounded and you feel you can't go on. So you're still carrying a lot of this energy, of this attack energy. You have possibly been a victim of something. This is less about you sitting in victimization. This is about the realization of what you've gone through. So you've gone through quite a lot. You've had people saying a lot of things. You've had attacks on you. You've had a difficult situation. And the sword's again about communication, about expression. Perhaps no one could hear your side of the story. Perhaps no one could hear your voice. Perhaps no one was able to listen to you. Perhaps many people were saying many things behind your back. And this can be family, this can be close ones. It doesn't have to be, the person that really, really detests you and hates you. This can be anyone. And there's a great deal of suffering when you discover that. Great deal of suffering. And you can feel just like you can't go on. He feels like he can't get up. But there is a shore here, there is water here, so there's a level of emotion. He's dragged himself onto dry land. So he's managed to get through that watery emotion, through that disturbance, I want to say, and drag himself onto the grass and rest there for a moment. So it's not going to get any worse. 10 is as bad as it gets. It doesn't get any worse. So it would say to me that you've been through a lot. There's that death to the old, death to the toxicity. Whatever it was toxic. There's the ending, there's the death, and there's this wish to move forward into this loving relationship. But it doesn't mean that you've just completely forgotten everything that tore you apart, okay? The next card is walking away. So there is a walking away from something. We've had this last week as well in our short read, which was on Instagram and Facebook. This is a walking away, turning your back on something. So you've had to do that. Perhaps in the past you've had to leave somewhere because it was too hurtful, because something was missing, something was dropped out of the situation, it wasn't the same. You'd been in the situation which you'd given a lot of love to, you've put a lot of effort, you've given commitments into. But something was missing, something wasn't quite right. You didn't feel it was all it should be, despite the love you had for it, despite the passion, despite the connection, the emotion that was involved. There's a lot of emotion here, 8 of Cups. So there's a walking away. And in a way, next to the 10 of Swords, it's telling us that there is a moving away from this trauma. The trauma caused this gap, this glitch in the system. And so we're moving away from it. We're moving away from the pain. It's caused suffering. It's caused tears. There is a certain level of recognizing that, whatever the integration with those 10 of Swords was, whatever that was for you, it hurt you. And you had to turn your back on it and walk away. And it's the right thing to do, but it's difficult. He is walking uphill and he has mountains to climb. It won't be easy. It's going to be hard. But you knew it had to happen. You knew, or that something's not quite right here. I'm going to have to go. And as much as I'm exhausted now because of everything that's happened, I'm actually exhausted. How am I going to climb a mountain when I'm exhausted? How am I going to get out of this situation? And this is particularly I think for breakups as well. How are you going to get yourself back together? How are you going to get things in place? How are you going to do it? You don't even know, but you have to move on. You have to leave something. You know that whatever was, it wasn't right. And you had to make that decision in the end. You had to call it in the end. And the final card is the 3 of Cups. And in doing so, we can celebrate. We move to the 3 of Cups, which is about joy, partying, celebrating. It's about birthdays, anniversaries. It is about gatherings where we are singing good cheer. And this could be December time when you're you get to regroup with those closest to you. Perhaps with sisters, you might have 3 sisters. There might be 3 females in the family. You might have a friendship, 3 close friends. So there is this energy of coming together with emotion cups, or emotion cups are love. They're also holding the cups in the air like they're cheersing. So perhaps you are going to let your hair down and go out for a drink. Perhaps you are going to like have a little dance around. You might be going to a retreat or somewhere where there's a bit of water as well. Something that you can celebrate and enjoy, but it's over water. There's a water element here. We've got the fish here again. So it's that fish with the Knight of Cups. Again, that energy of the Piscean, the Cancerian, the Scorpio, that fish energy, that water energy again here. So lots of cups, but the cups are quite, we've got the Knight of Cups, which is that coming forward with romance. And we've got the 8 of Cups, we're walking away. And we've got the 3 of Cups, we get to celebrate, we get to regroup. It can be about drinking too much, so just be wary of that. It can be about if you find yourself, you've walked away from something and then you find yourself having a glass of wine in the evening, or having the extra glass of wine, or always getting a bottle of wine in, or something. Be aware of that, because that's not the road you want to go down. Teetotal is much better. Leaving the alcohol. Alcohol is a toxin to your body, so it's not just that it lifts your mood for a second. It's actually a depressant, so it will depress you. So if you are drinking alcohol, know that it depresses you. And it's fine to have a drink now and again, as long as you know you'll probably be a bit depressed. That's what you're doing. You're putting the depressant into you. It's a poison, it's a toxin to your body, so your body has to work hard to clear it. It ages you. So less of the alcohol and more of nurturing vital energy, vital drinks, vital waters. Find different herbal remedies or treatments or tinctures, or there's so many other things. Just be mindful of the drinking if you find yourself drinking too much, and because that can mask all of the emotion, that can mask all of the pain and the suffering. So we can drink to kind of mask the pain, but we need to remember that we're moving away from difficulty, and we can celebrate it. This is a joyful card, but be careful in case we're masking it with alcohol, because it was so painful to walk away. Just be mindful in case you're masking it with alcohol. Okay, let's go to Archangel Michael. I always think there'll be short reads and then it goes on a long time. So let me know, how does that resonate? Does it make sense to you? It could also be just saying something, because we mentioned December, we mentioned Christmas, the sacred time, the rebirth, the birth of Christ, who was Piscean. It is well known that actually he wasn't born in December, that he's actually Piscean energy, so Christ consciousness energy coming in, and he was crucified, so he was, the nails, that's the metal nails, like the swords went into him, right? And so there was this moving off into spirit. He has so much love for everyone on the planet, and he ascended. He had to leave the earthly world and move into the higher realms, and that was the sacrifice. Was he knew he had to go through that difficulty. He knew he had to do that and leave the earthly plane. But it leaves us with this celebration in December, this recognition of the birth and the life of Christ, and how that is the pillars of our world. We have the dark and the light there on the background with the pillars. We have the 2 trees, which are our stability or strength in equal measure, or masculine and feminine. So it's this rise of the consciousness, rise and celebration of this consciousness that's coming in now, which is still coming in. I know we're in the age of Aquarius now, but I still feel there's a lot of Piscean energy around, which is a very magical spiritual energy. So I'm getting like dancing at Lunasa. It's like, this celebration, these natural female archetypes, with the flowers and the headdresses and the, dancing at the moonlight or the sunlight, this celebration of life, this birth. What happens when you, someone is born, you wet the baby's head, isn't it? You go and have a drink for them. So it could be, in a sense, something with regards to December. For some reason, this is my Archangel Michael deck, but it doesn't look as big as it should. Okay, one's come out. I don't know, maybe that's all there is. When you think you have more cards in a deck, but maybe not. You can see it's well worn. Look at all the frayed bits. Positive thoughts create positive results, and that's a very kind of dynamic bit of a disco Archangel Michael there. It says, divine love and wisdom, I call upon you now. I know that my mind and my emotions are eternally and continuously connected to you. I ask my higher self to be aware and conscious of the love and light that is within every person and situation. Okay, so what do we see here then? He's got the sword, he's got the rainbow energy, and there's lovely little kind of energies here. I don't know if you can kind of see them there. Just little energies, and he's got a diamond light up to the heavens, and he's very multicolored, isn't he? With his, it's almost like a tool belt of multicolored, right? So positive thoughts create positive results. So this is just a nod to keep your mind positive. We mentioned there about the alcohol and the depressant effect of it, and how now it's time to override that and become a positive thinker. Now, this doesn't mean, a lot of people, you're bypassing, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't mean that you don't understand the reality of your situations, but there is evidence that if you think positively, and if you have, for example, 3 things to be grateful for in the morning, like just 3, just think of 3 things that you can be grateful for, and then, feel that positive wave within you, then your brain goes out every day and it's almost looking for more positive things. If your feed is negative and is pointing negative stories to you on your phone, then your brain will be picking that up everywhere. If your feed is feeding you positive things, then you will be much more inclined to be tuned into positivity, to be tuned into consciousness, to be tuned into growth, spiritual growth. So understand, it's not just, I'm thinking a good thought. You're actually rewiring your whole system, and as a result of that, you're rewiring your whole world and what comes into your world. I always think it's funny sometimes because, obviously I like certain things on the phone, so I follow certain people, so I'm seeing a lot of their work because I like their work. But if you consider that all 7 point whatever billion, so maybe 7 billion that have phones, they all have their individual preferences, and some may overlap. But when you notice somebody looking on the phone and you just think, what the hell is that? Sorry. What is that? It's like, who watches that kind of stuff? And is that what you're watching? And you'd notice it when you're on the tube and you're on the train and you're kind of next to people and you're just kind of like having a little look. And it used to be the paper. We used to read each other's paper over their shoulders, but now it's all on phone, right? And you're just going, because I don't see any of that stuff, and I don't see any of that stuff. But also, you don't see any of what I'm tuned into. So it is very interesting how when you're focused on something, and especially with phones nowadays, they're feeding you back. It's like a feedback loop. So you need to be very aware of what you're putting in your mind. And if you can, create a few positive thoughts a day, just a few, not masses. You don't have to change your whole day. Your day can be pretty hard going, and then you think, what is the positive thing out of today? And it will roll. It will roll and it will change, and it will change you, because you will understand then that you have a certain power in your life. And if you change your thoughts and change what you're emitting, so we send energy out. So whatever we're taking into our minds is creating a vibration within us. We're, how would you say it? Someone's demeanor. So your demeanor, maybe the way you hold yourself, or your attitude, or whatever. But that's sending out a signal. So always you're sending out a signal. So positive thoughts create positive results. So throwing a few positive things in there will actually help change your signal a little bit, and therefore create better things for you in the world. So we're only doing it to try and help you have a better life. So I'm going to go to the goddess cards now, because we had 3 little goddesses there at the end. Let's see what they say. The sun is still out, which is great. We've got a few more clouds, but I can still see the sun is powerful today. It is like shining on the house opposite is so bright. Don't know if you noticed that change in the light, but it's been reflected back to me. The light has been reflected back to me. Interesting. So let's get a goddess card for you all. This is for men and women, so it's taking that female energy. We had this last week, so my hair's a bit like hers today, isn't it? It's a bit messy and wavy. Cordelia, go outside. So I absolutely will go outside. I think I'll go outside after this reading and go for a long walk through nature and connect to all the trees again. Trees are very healing. Sit next to them, stand by them, give them a hug, send them good wishes. They'll send it back. They can communicate with us now. So it's fairyland as well. There's a lot of little fairies there connecting to the ground, the trees, the little fairy trees, fairy rings, etc. So if you've been indoors too long, go outside and get some fresh air. And even that is the just getting out and getting some air, letting the wind blow through your hair, letting it just kind of freshen you up. I got up this morning, I said to myself yesterday, and that's how intention setting can really work for you as well. So in the night before I went to sleep, I set the intention that I would get up early. Today's my day off my regular work. And so I get up today and I would, by 8 o'clock, and I would do some yoga. Now, my morning routine is usually up at 5. So if I get up at 8, I've already had 3 hours sleep in. So I'm fairly awake at 8 o'clock. So I did wake at 8, and then I was, going, I should get up and do yoga, So about 8:30 I did. I got up and did half an hour of yoga. I just watched something on YouTube. But it was the setting the intention last night that was something that I should do, pushed me to do it. So it set me up for the day. So something like going outside, even for a brief walk, and sometimes even yesterday when I was walking to catch the bus, I can check what time it's coming, and if it's not going to come for like 6 minutes or so, I can actually walk, to the bottom of the town. So instead of just sitting around waiting on the bus, I walked. So I got some movement in, I got the body moving, I got some energy going, I got some heat going within my body. So it's getting outside, it's getting fresh air, it's getting the body moving, always keep moving. It's the Chinese secret to health. Movement every day. Don't get sluggish. And the body can function, so it can do all its digestion and its movement, its elimination, all of that. The body needs to move. The body needs to work. So even 15 minutes walking outside, and just appreciate the beauty, appreciate the plants, appreciate the little buds we're now seeing on the trees. The leaves are all down, the buds are there. So we're seeing the new life that's about to push forward. It might be near the ocean. You might be getting that ocean breeze, that the negative ions of the water, which are super healthy for you. You might want to do some grounding, put your feet on the ground, your bare feet on the ground, to get the grounding, to get that negative energy from the planet, which then reduces all our inflammation. Like literally just stand on the ground and you'll do masses of help for your body for any inflammation. So go outside, you've been indoors too long, get some fresh air. Even if it's a walk around the block, even if it's your lunch break, and you're thinking, I'm going to sit here and I'll sit with this coffee and I'll look at my phone. Well, maybe just have your coffee and then just go out for a walk around the block. It's just a simple thing, but you're just mixing it up a bit. I don't know. So as we have gone to nature, let's go to the dragons, the mystical nature. And we'll use Dana Cooper's Dragon Oracle, which I also love, because I just love the information that comes through them. They seem to be on point. So I would like a dragon for the group, for the collective, but also for me, and some information I can take and use, because I'm definitely going to go outside. I'm definitely going to try and keep my thoughts positive, despite everything telling me otherwise, because I know it creates a better world for me and for everyone. And that's it. You see, if you have positive thoughts and you're creating a better world, everyone benefits. So you're actually doing, this is like my little ebook I put out in 2012, and thoughts, we know thoughts become things, okay? So if you can't control all these other things in your life because it's out of control, what you can control is what you're thinking. And instead of just letting your mind run, you create thoughts, you put thoughts in. You say, I'm going to think that this situation is sorted. I'm going to think that everything is working out for me, as Abraham Hicks would say. Everything is working out for me. Everything is working out for me. And despite me not fully believing it, I know that everything is working out for me. So things like that, just, it's not denying where you are or what you're feeling, but it's just putting something else in as well, and then eventually the balance will tip. So we have Silver Lunar Dragon, bathes you in divine feminine light. Come into balance and practice peace, harmony, and cooperation. Expand your causal chakra. Okay. I think we have a full moon coming up on the 4th of December. Is that right? Let me go check. Yes, we do. We have a full moon on the 4th of December. So this is kind of tuning us into that energy. So now as the moon moves towards its fullness, we tune into that energy coming from the moon, that light coming from the moon, which we see as more feminine, because we look at the sun as more yang, more masculine. We look at the moon as more feminine, more yin. So what is the moon energy telling us to do? The moon energy is yin, so it's female, so it's receiving. So it's not doing. So perhaps as we're moving forward to this full moon, we want to receive more. We want to sit back. We want to integrate. We want to feel more. We want to slow down. And this can be a time of rushing. This can be a time of obsessive shopping and planning and worrying and intensity. But this moon is saying, just slow it down a bit. Just take it calmly. We want to practice peace, harmony, and cooperation with each other. So especially when families start coming back together again at this season, we want to cooperate. There's no push. There's no need for all of this push and all of this comparison and all of this pretense. Let's just cooperate. Let's just get on. Let's just integrate. And so we're bathed in this light. So we draw this light down to us. And it says open your causal chakra. So the causal chakra is behind you, and it's just above your head, and it's a little bit behind. So you can imagine it maybe around there. And just imagine it like a chakra, and just imagine it opening it up, and then it allows lots of downloads and information to come in to your causal chakra, which is part of your energy body, and for you to receive and be bathed in that light. So it has light codes, light information, but also just that femininity. So particularly at this time as well, for women in general, full moons and moon cycles plays on our cycles, correct? So be aware of your cycle, be aware of where you are in your cycle. And that sort of that mood that energy that you have during those times, where it's up, where it's down, where you need support, where you feel a little bit anxious and agitated. Know how you're feeling, because the full moon, they say there's more any visits, and there's more police putting people in prison or arresting people during the full moon. So it does affect, because it affects our water, because we are mostly water. And so as the moon pulls the tides, it pulls our waters, and our brain is made up of water, so it's affecting how people think, how people feel, how people act out. Particularly with Sagittarius, there's a little bit of fire there, so just be aware of that, and just allow the cooling silver dragon to come in and assist with that. That's the thing. I was trying to think something else I was going to say, and it's this movement towards Christmas, this movement towards this party season, this movement towards this celebration, this getting together and celebrating. And so we can be very conscious of our femininity. We can be very conscious of how we appear, making ourselves nice for the Christmas season, fitting into the little back dress, getting our hair done, all the rest of it. So that's going to be around as well. So there's going to be this sense of this feminine, stepping into your femininity again. Let me see what the book says. That's just on a practical level. Silver Lunar Dragon. Okay, it says, put this side. The moon is a portal through which divine feminine light pours onto Earth. It bathes the planet, and more specifically connects to our causal chakra and helps to activate it. Recently, 7th dimensional silver lunar dragons have been able to access this portal and stream into our dimension, particularly when the moon is full. They carry divine feminine light in their energy fields, and their mission is to touch us with it to prepare for the golden future. For 10,000 years we have been influenced by the masculine. However, in the new golden age, the feminine qualities of peace, harmony, equality, cooperation, love, unity, and wisdom must harmonize with the masculine. So, silver lunar dragons are very dynamic now, because they are actively bringing about the balance of yin-yang energy on the planet. As these shimmering dragons touch our causal chakra and enable it to expand, unicorns are able to use the illuminated chakra as a portal to enter Earth and assist our ascension. In this way, the silver lunar dragons serve us, and we serve the planet. You can visualize your causal chakra as your own personal moon. The silver lunar dragons will touch and expand it until their frequency is high enough to allow pure white unicorns to step through. Wow. So that's super interesting. So again, bringing that balance of the masculine and feminine to bear onto the planet. So we have balance. We have peace, we have harmony. So let's welcome more of that, and particularly from now up until the moon is full on the 4th of December, which isn't long. Let's imagine our moon. Let's imagine our moon every day and connect to it. Balance. Be more yin, be more receiving. Allow things to come to you, allow love to come to you, allow change to come to you. That's very interesting, because we have these 3 goddesses here. We have that yin energy, that female expression, and we have the female going outside, the goddess to go outside. And then we have the feminine energy of the silver moon. And perhaps that's what part of it is, the control, the masculine control, the masculine war, the masculine obsession, that patriarchal. We need men. I love men. But there is that war element that comes with Mars. The planet Mars is about war. So it's about shifting that and bringing a bit more Venus in. And perhaps we'll have less war and more healing. I always think it's funny, as someone who is a healer, was involved in healing, etc. And I often attend different events and go to different courses and talks and different things like that. And the majority are women. There's a few men, but not many. So, something about purpose is coming up as well. You're about to step into your purpose. The master teachers are there, and they're going to give you some gifts to allow you to step forward. Again, he's got his briefcase and some flowers. So that's a positive move forward, and you're going in the right direction. There's a big arrow here. So you're going in the right direction. Now the two cards that have come out are Shadow. So there might be a part of you that's listening to this and going, oh, that's BS, or that doesn't relate to me, or I'm not, there's just something that you're denying, or you're criticizing in another, or you're angry about something in another. It's like one of the examples of kind of shadow is, you might be in the supermarket and there might be people in front of you and you're just going like, oh God, will you move on? Maybe it's the same in the car when you're driving and you're just giving out about, that's shadow. That's your kind of nastiness coming out and, attacking another in a way. And you don't want to do that. You want to be aware of your shadow. Energy is moving like crazy. Become aware of your shadow and then allow that shadow to heal. And allow that shadow to shrink down until it becomes this little person with the heart. And instead of just being angry, because that's the fire, we need to cool that with the cooling silver moonlight. We need to cool the fire, and which is liver. Fire, anger is in your liver. Your liver is affected by alcohol. So we're going right full circle here again. And we need to move into heart, offering the heart. That's what we need to do. Let me see what it says about shadow 25. And then we've got one more card which came out, which I'll go through. So shadow is anger, vengeance, violation and spite. Although no one likes to admit it, we all have our dark sides and shadows, those less than flattering facets of our personality that take delight in abusing and shaming others and wielding power in the most unfair ways. Whether it's the condescending remark to the slow-moving grocery bagger at the supermarket, the aggressive hand gesture directed towards the driver on the road, or the belittling comment made to your uncooperative child. Many of us are guilty of hurting or deriding others at times. Your divine healers are present now to help you witness your shadow, lovingly make you aware that it's actually contempt for yourself and your vulnerability that fuels such hostility towards others. These gentle but powerful higher forces surround you now in love and urge you to accept and embrace your weaker aspects, rather than harshly rejecting yourself by attacking those aspects in others. Ease up and be more tolerant of yourself. If you do so, these shadows will give way to light and healing. Ask for help and accept our light. So it is showing that, it's contempt for yourself that you're attacking another. It's your vulnerability that you feel you have to go out and attack another. That's the narcissist. The weak narcissist always attacks you. You're the problem and you're causing them pain. That's the narcissist, which we had at the beginning. So be mindful of how you attack others. Be mindful of how you have hostility towards others. Because that could be the 10 of swords that we had, the pains that you're causing someone. So ease up and be more tolerant of yourself and accepting of those sides of yourself. And you'll be surrounded in love so you can transform it. Because we are going to a new year, a new beginning, and we're moving through a new doorway. And we've got the Divine Father here, which is, well, Christmas time, isn't it, really? And we've got the stars all around. And the arrow that we had with purpose, and we've got the finger. You know, the finger of the lottery winner could be you, right? So maybe you're going to win some money, and it'll help you move through this doorway. Who knows? It's number 11. So it's a master number. New beginnings. And Divine Father is kind of working with the masculinity at the divine level. So it's taking that divine feminine and moving with the divine masculine, which is the highest representation of masculine yang energy. We call it masculine, it's really yin yang, it's just like opposites. It's not like male, like human, it's just an opposite, just opposite energies that work together. So it's working with that higher aspect. So as we are embracing our divine high yin, divine feminine, we're also working with the Divine Father, the divine yang, the divine masculine, to create a new beginning, to create a new world, to walk through a door and move in a different direction. So this is lovely as we're coming towards the end of the year. We've got a lot that we're leaving behind. We've got a lot that we're having to let go of so we can be free to move through this door. And we are being guided through this door. We're not escaping. We're not running away from something. We're actually being pointed in this direction. Which direction is it? You'll have to find out for yourself. But you're being pointed in this direction. And there's light through this door. He's going to a doorway that's just glowing with light. So this could be ascension as well. You're moving into the light. You're moving to the direction of the light. You're being guided to move more into the light. But new beginnings we love. New beginnings, new starts. Be aware of our shadow. Embrace all things that are that full moon, that feminine energy. Open up the causal. Let's bring in the unicorns and the higher light, the information, the light codes. Let's understand what we've had to deal with, what we've come through, what we've had to walk away from. We can celebrate that for ourselves. We have to be mindful of the alcohol, mindful of our liver, mindful of the anger. Heal by being positive. Heal by knowing our shadow and allowing us to overcome that and realize what it is, what it's pointing to in us. And when we do that, we have new beginnings. When we do that, we have the rebirth. When we do that, we've let go of all the old controls. We've broken those chains. We are free to move through this new doorway. That's your reading for today. I hope you enjoyed. That was very interesting. Sometimes it just takes you on a different route. And I'm going to go now because I think the blue sky is disappearing. So I need to go now and do what Cordelia said and go outside, get some fresh air, get some sunshine on my skin, connect with Ra, the sun god, get some vitamin D and fresh air. Just blow the cobwebs away. But I hope you enjoyed. I'll post this in a little bit and take care of yourselves and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.